Alright, here is the 1988 BMW E30 325i convertible. It is a triple black car. Basically, I bought it just to have some fun with over the summertime, springtime driving. You know, I'm a big fan of BMWs and all things European. But I just drove this car home, so I think I'm getting ready to sell it. So I'll just go ahead and show you. I did some new tires on it, and I did a new timing belt water pump. So I just kind of wanted to catch up on the services there. It's not a perfect car, but it does drive really, really nice. The paint could use some work, and that's kind of why I'm shooting a video, just so like you'll know what you're getting. It is a no rust car though. This was out of Potomac, Maryland. And really like your main issues is like it could use a top, right? So you got like two little holes here and some fraying down here. Top does still work pretty good. It's a manual top car, which if I'm gonna do a convertible, it's gonna be a manual top. And you can see here, it's almost like this door and the fender was painted previously, and it's just not a good match. Not sure if it was like a clear coat issue or what. It's still shiny, it shines up nice, but what I wanted to say is basically it's not like a show car. You know, it's a great vintage 1988, just a car from the 80s. And this car certainly does drive really, really nice. It is an automatic, but you know what? I was actually very surprised in how torquey the automatic gearing was. See here, I also did like some new bumper strips because they were faded and kind of just crunchy looking. So remove the front bumper, just freshened all that up. Just makes it look so cool, especially like staying with the big aluminum bumpers. This is your interior. It is black leather sports seats, but you know what? Honestly, the leather's kind of dry. No big holes in it or anything like that. But a lot of people that are doing upholstery kits, it turns out really well if you wanted to go to that next step. 237,000 miles. Kind of got that sport wheel, not the M-Tech wheel, but like the more sporty E30 wheel, which is nice. It does have a dash cover. It's not glued down or anything. There was some dash cracking. I guess the previous owner put a cover on it. I'm not against it. There's the rear seat. And I'll go ahead and put the top down, and then we'll go for a drive and we'll get a couple other shots of it. All right, and here it is with the top down. Process is pretty easy on these manual tops. All right, so here we're driving the 1988 E30. I do these videos just so the viewer, who usually isn't within our own state, can actually get a sensation to feel like what this car would feel like if they owned it. And how does it drive? Is it smooth? Does it rattle? Is there noises? So we'll try to do a couple of angles. I did some drone shots, and we're going to be selling this car pretty soon. So the videos do tend to help. I mean, I've shot in videos of things like wristwatches and just showing you the movement of the watch. This is the same thing. I want to show you the movement of the car. How does it handle? You know, it seems pretty smooth, right? So this is on factory suspension. It hasn't been modified. Like I said before, we've done the timing belt, the water pump. It's got brand new tires on it. The wheels have been refinished. But it's not a perfect car, but it's a good car that's reliable and it'll last you a long, long time. These M20 engines that they put in the 325s, they're just rock solid. It's like a tank. And remember, they're easy to work on, they're easy to get parts, and they're very reliable. So, you know, I do love, you know, your S motors and an M88, you know, your M6s, M5s, those kind of cars are great, but the parts are expensive, they're not that easy to work on, and it can be a pretty scary repair bill if something goes wrong. This is still that last of the true BMWs, and that's not to ruffle any feathers, but you know that the BMW E30 really put BMW on the map, and for reliability and looks and everything else. I mean, there's not a lot of cars from the 80s still driving on the road regularly, yet the BMW is still out there doing it. And this is just a driver car. It's got some imperfections. It's not a garage queen, but you can still get in the car and drive it. You can drive it, you know, hard if you want. You can drive it soft. And having the 325i engine, it's got enough power to still keep up with modern day vehicles. And I say that because I've gotten into some of these really old cars, and even cars from the 80s, and they just can't keep up with that soccer mom in the minivan. This car will do just fine. Now, I know a lot of people want manuals and they want the coupes and the 325ISs, but even being an automatic, this car shifts very smoothly and it's very torquey. It actually surprised me. I mean, I'm like a lot of you guys out there, manual only, but this is pretty comfortable having an automatic. Kind of just get in and go. I also shot it with the top up, so I just figured it'd be really noisy with the top down. You'll see some other videos of me walking around with the top down and everything else. I feel like that should give you a pretty good idea of how the car drives. Temperature always stays dead in the center. You know, that was helped to some of the new maintenance parts that I went ahead and did. The odometer works great. It's got 237,000 miles. It's got the sport steering wheel, sport leather interior. Now the leather is a little dry. It's not super soft, but there's no holes or cracks or anything like that. So it's just ready for the new owner to take it to the next step. Hope you enjoyed the video, and happy bidding.